quality. In fact, the limitations imposed by the used and recycled materials found at hand can lead to a fresh creative approach and result in an outcome that would otherwise have been overlooked. Thank you, Gail Vickers and Justin Chappie Chapman. And our gorgeous model, Beth. Samantha Spencer is up next. Samantha is wearing her own fabulous costume entitled Hades, and it's from the Underworld section of our presentation this year. Samantha has used upcycled garments and fabric remnants to create this gown. A corset needing a revamp, a skirt, a dress, and remnant fabrics. Skulls and test tubes are the witch's toolkit that adorns Samantha's gown. Keeping textiles out of the dump is an important role in sustainable and environmental impacts on the earth. Samantha has been creative all her life. She is passionate about animals and drawing. Samantha is currently studying animal behaviour and has really been looking forward to dressing up for Remade. And we're glad you did. What a magnificent costume you have made. Thank you, Samantha. Approaching the stage now is another Underworld piece, Black and Gold by Harley Cragg, worn by the very debonair Harley. The outfit is meant to illustrate a classy aesthetic while demonstrating a distinction between art and natural beauty. The intent was to provide a reflection of contemporary art pieces and how said fashion could fit into a functioning society. It has been designed around recycled garments and materials. The outfit also incorporates elements from circuit boards while staying true to the silver and gold theme. Harley is an artist and designer at Interweave Arts. Up next is Kenny Yee with the piece Free Mermaid. Kenny is representing all marine life. Her Free Mermaid outfit is decked out with collected recycled tin can top openers to represent the scales on her mermaid tail fin. And isn't it glorious? Kenny would like to see marine life free of drift fish nets, free of massive fish trawlers, and free of thrown away human rubbish at sea. Upcycled rubbish can be worn and integrated into clothing in many different practical ways. Kenny is passionate about all life forms being free. She sees an alien God who gave us a chance on earth to be artists and designers, to be free spirits and express our love and creativity. I think we can follow that brief for the night, don't you? Thank you, Kenny. Up next, we'd like to welcome Sylvie Wiley and Andy Rutkin with another Underworld-themed piece, Dark Angels. Andy Rutkin and Sylvie Wiley were both thrilled to be invited to participate in this year's Remade Wearable Art Show. As commissioned artists in the Underworld category, Andy and Sylvie have constructed and designed both their Dark Angel outfits from scratch using 100% recycled clothing found in second-hand stores around Launceston and Hobart. By using this, Sylvie and Andy demonstrate how you can create fabulous fashion that is both sustainable and wearable, and it also costs a fraction of the retail price. Sylvie and Andy are both visual artists based in Launceston and are actively involved in the arts scene. Andy is also the manager and owner of Bohemia Studio Gallery in Westbury, where they both have a large studio space and show their work. Share the love. Thank you, Sylvie and Andy. Up next, from me. How lovely. Grace Brewitt presents her cosplay costume for tonight, Ashley, Until Dawn. This character comes from a horror game released in 2015. Until Dawn is a slasher choice-making game where you choose who lives and dies. Ashley is the most timid character in the game. She's a victim character, and her deaths are brutal. Grace uses upcycled items from her wardrobe. She's wearing some of her winter wear, but has added a bit of fake blood to give it that gory effect. Grace has been cosplaying since she was 15. She knows what she's doing when it comes to wigs, and she loves showing off her acting skills for all to see. Don't hurt me. Thanks, Grace. Richie Aries Donner presents Readdressal, modelled by Hannah. This wearable piece reflects a meticulous and repetitive process of making. Richie has always worked with books and discarded flyers. In this piece, he has ventured from his usual method of folding to sewing thousands of triangles. When Richie made this work, he designed it with the natural flow of the woman's body. The work is not to cover the woman's form, but to reflect it through the sculpture. In this work, Richie reflects resourcefulness in creating artworks. The dress expresses the inherent beauty and value of waste. We throw things away because we consider them of no value. But this piece shows that we can throw away things that can potentially be very beautiful. Richie is an artist based in the northwest of Tasmania. He mainly works with recyclable materials. His work ranges from small sculpture made from flyers and books to large installations. He considers himself as a community artist. His creative passion is driven by creating art projects with the community. Well done, Richie. And I hope you got to see that really close up, because that has a phenomenal amount of skill in that piece. Up next, Jen Ranganui and Maya Ranganui present Protector of the Ocean. Come on out, Maya. Jen and Maya have designed and made their costume using upcycled evening gowns, jewellery and found plastics. Protector of the Ocean is about the thousands of tons of plastic waste dumped into our oceans every day. Our marine life, kelp forests and food sources are threatened by human ignorance and neglect. Convenience plastics are the biggest environmental threat to the future of our oceans. Jen and Maya have incorporated disregarded plastics to highlight the impact it has on our marine life. The plastics overlay a delicate costume that references an ideal underwater world. Maya and Jen hope that you too question your daily plastic usage and strive to reduce your plastic contributions and protect the ocean. Jen has worked in community arts for the past 22 years. She is very passionate about making art for health and well-being and bringing people together. Jem has teamed up with her daughter Maya to create Protector of the Ocean. And if we're very lucky, Maya will take a little stroll through your ranks. If you're lucky. You don't have to, darling. You just look so fabulous. Up next, another cosplay offering for you, this time Madison Jones with I've Got the Need for Speed. Maddie made this design from items she found at the op shop. She draws influence from The Flash, the character inspiring this piece. Maddie really enjoyed being environmentally responsible and is proud that all of the things she used for this piece were either found in the op shop or self-made from pre-loved materials. Maddie calls herself an inspiring artist who enjoys drawing and comics. She comes to the studio to interact with other creative minds and learn new art techniques. Maddie, I reckon you're more than just aspiring, darling. I'm going to give you the big tick. I can do that because I've got the talking stick tonight. Maddie, you're already an artist. Go forth and prosper. Up next is a piece from Graham Mackenzie. Stray Kit Kat is tonight's model with the cosplay character Azula. The piece was made for a participant at one of the previous MyCons. It was made out of new and recycled materials, including recycled foam camp mats and repurposed automotive skinning paints. The piece has elements of remade, recycled and repurposed materials alongside new materials with the aim to promote that it is possible to make something new out of something old to minimise impact on the environment. Thank you, Stray Kit Kat. And thank you, Graham. Graham is a rather shy person who prefers to work in the background rather than in the spotlight. But you might be able to track him down. Next up, Jean Williams. On the Blink, worn by Jean. This piece fits into the diamonds category at this year's Remade. The fairy's godmother wand is on the blink, but Jean decided to create her own ball gown. Just because that wand couldn't sparkle out a dress was not going to stop Jean from missing this ball. Good on you, Jean. The gown is made from old denim jeans and remnant fabric stitched together with love and a promise of not having to be home by midnight. Jean feels that everything has a purpose. Fabric does not have to end up at the tip. Where there is a will and a creative thought, there is a way of upcycling for many years to come. Jean has been a creative person all her life. Felting, applique and weaving are her passions when she is not in the garden. One of my favourite places too, Jean. Would it be wrong of me to call Jean a Jean Genie with this upcycled denim outfit? Probably. Just forget I said that one. Okay. Next up is Angela Perks. Angela is in the gold. And she presents this outrageous plastic creation, a plastic flapper. Angela started with the plastic ribbon and it just grew. It can be knitted or sewn. She particularly enjoyed making the feather boa for a touch of elegance. Angela found just repurposing a piece was exciting and entertaining. She was originally inspired by Marjorie Bly and her reuse of plastics. She also added the sequins as a bit of further sparkle. Angela attends Interweave on Wednesdays. This is where the copper-coloured plastic ribbon was found. Angela loves sewing, knitting and crochet and found it really fun to create a garment incorporating all three crafts. Well done, Angela. Thank you for removing another piece of wonderful donated stuff from the studio as well. Meryl Thompson is up next. Her piece, Silver and Gold, is modelled by the lovely Tam. Thank you, Tam. A shawl. An old Angora one from Meryl's ancient past with cutouts from old artworks, jewellery, mainly op-shop finds, and some small pottery pieces. Silver for her hair and her hat adornment, another old scarf that was treasured for years, and gold for the wonderful things she has unexpectedly found in old age. Every day a treasure, family, and art, and friends, such a joy. Meryl can't walk properly at present, but she can still dance with a chair or person to hold on to. Meryl feels new finds can give a fresh beauty to something old. She means the scarf and shawl as well as herself. Meryl had work in several Remade shows and once incorporated one of her pieces into a skit which she performed for Opal a couple of years ago. She is nearly 80 and has enjoyed her contacts with the studio over the years, and we have enjoyed her too. Thank you for being part of it. Golden Age is the name of the next piece, made and modelled by the wonderful Dee Alford. Dee embraces sustainable living, and this theme informs all of her work. This work was sparked by Dee's vision of a radiant being who represents the power of love, compassion, and healing for the individual, the collective, and the world. Here, Dee has used fabric and features from pre-loved garments, other remnants and scraps of fabric, all in golden hues. Like a bowerbird, Dee has collected sparkling and lustrous treasures, broken jewellery, beaded metallic and sequined pieces, fringes, buttons, and braids for use in this costume. In contrast to this richness, she has used sections from discarded milk containers to create a simple but striking headdress. Dee's been committed to Remade since 2012, enjoying various roles, including designing, making, and modelling. She is known for her art-based approach to fashion and her creative costumery, incorporating recycled clothing. 3 thematic approaches are integrated through all of Dee's work: community development, sustainably recycling and reusing, and art and fashion. Ah, Dee, you truly are a goddess. Next up, Michelle Murphy presents All That Glitters. Michelle's artwork represents how we can find beauty in second-hand items by creatively repurposing other materials. The costume was made using all second-hand materials. The buttons were even painted before sewing on. Second-hand plastic bags were incorporated into the skirt to give that great volume, and strips of material added all over for texture and interest. Michelle is currently studying art at TAFE. Her artworks are varied. She likes to use many mediums and styles and has a real love of detail. Thanks, Michelle. Sunny. Where's my Sunny? Sunny is in the open section with Rag Rug. This headwear is made from old clothes of Sunny's mum. They've been cut into strips, plaited together, and then sewn together. The concept is derived from the rag rug technique. Sunny has used old clothes to make a hat. She believes it is important to think outside of the box when it comes to sustainability, hence using the rag rug technique not to make a rug, but a hat. She often says, we're only limited by our own imagination. Got to agree with that. Sunny loves living life and seeing that reflected in everything that she does. She likes to experiment with colour, textures, and sound. Thanks, Sunny. Up next is Janet Bryan with Ties Delight. Janet brought ties and a dress from the op shop. Then she added the two together. Then, discovering a random cane wall decoration amongst the treasures donated to the Interweave studio, decided to make this fetching fan. With more ties and some scrap mounting board. Definitely not business ties as usual. Janet has a diploma in printmaking and has been coming to Interweave for 4 years. This is only her second remade costume, and I'm looking forward to more, Janet. Fabulous work. From the Deep is the title of our next piece. Veronica Tunks entered this in masks and headwear. Veronica wears her love for the ocean not just on her sleeves, but right through her whole outfit. Different blue fabrics and vibrant fish express the many colours of the ocean. The octopus smothering her boat hat is a hint of the mysterious creatures that live within the depths of the ocean. Veronica has made her outfit from materials she had at home and from op shops. By reusing materials and clothes, Veronica has reduced the amount of water and chemicals that are used when making new materials and clothes. This means that the water that is used to make new clothes can be used for other purposes like drinking water. Cheers, Veronica. Don't mind if I do. Veronica enjoys using a wide range of materials and mediums to create her art. and she's always willing to try new mediums. Recently, she discovered paper mache, and this was the inspiration for that fabulous octopus on her awesome boat hat. Sail on! I love the people I work with. How lucky am I? Up next, Sunshine Thorgerson presents 4 Seasons. Sorry, my mistake. Please bring the music up. Autumn is modelled by Malachi. Autumn is the slowing down time of the year for nature. Still, misty mornings, cooler evenings, star-filled nights. Malachi's costume is composed of real leaves, mosses, lichens, and branches. Winter is modelled by Chinoa. This costume represents the stillness, the cold, and yet beauty that can be found in the long, dark nights and days of winter in Tassie. Beauty can be created from items thought of as junk or rags. Spring is modelled by Sanaya. Spring is all about renewal, colour, positive vibrations, vast amounts of energy, life, renewal in nature and our human selves. And finally, summer. It's all about colour, energy, vibrancy, long days, sunny, warm with beach life, and water being an essential part of life. Festivals, parties, and all the fun and rubbish created by humans having fun at nature's expense. Model Siona's outfit is totally constructed from festival and party so-called rubbish. Well done, Sunshine, for picking it up. Sunshine is a well-travelled, independent, passionate environmentalist. She lives in a remote, beautiful farm with no internet, no television reception or smartphone, unique in this current world of multimedia overload. And looking at these costumes, I think we might all be tempted to throw our smartphones out and turn our internet off. Because that looks way, way more fun than Facebook to me. Up next, Rosalie presents Jungle. Into the Jungle by Rosalie Lyle. Rosalie was inspired by a song called Jungle by Jamie N. Commons and ex-ambassadors. The idea came to her head and she ran with it. It's made out of an ugly op-shop dress she got for a themed party a while ago. The dress was shoved to the back of the cupboard in hopes she would find a new purpose for it. And voila! Here it is. Animal print and jungle colour scrap materials hand-sewed onto the dress. The mane is made out of an old beanie and fake fur vest from the tip shop. It represents how easy it is to find a new purpose for things we would normally discard, and how important it is to take care of nature and wildlife. Rosalie is a local artist who has been practicing her skills for more than 10 years now. She volunteers as a mentor at the Interweave Art Studio. And recently, Rosalie started a YouTube channel doing easy art tutorials for beginners. I'm interested, and I'm going to look it up. If you want to, just go to YouTube, Rosalie Lyle Art. Thanks, Rosalie. Auki Bunstra has been working very hard putting together all of these gorgeous costumes. First up is Bushfire by Alyssa. Worn by Alyssa. Thank you, Alyssa. The botanical dyeing of this work reflects the colours and the glow of fire. Falling branches and leaves and dark colours depicting burnt trees. The wool tunic has been put together using 2 wool nappies, which Auki eco-dyed first using onion skins and eucalyptus leaves. The shoulder straps are remnant wool strips, which were also eco-dyed. The dark brown skirt was made of Japanese cotton and silk. After the Storm is Auki's next piece, worn by the lovely Pip. The way the eco-dyeing came out on this lovely wool garment depicts windfall after a storm. The large eucalyptus leaves used for the dyeing were actually collected after high winds in one of the Ulverstone parks. The tree has not been identified so far, but the sizes of the leaves are just amazing. This outfit transforms a cashmere jumper into a tunic. The jumper was found in a tip shop. The sleeves were cut off and used elsewhere in the garment. Vintage buttons were used for embellishment. Model Tawny presents gold, yellow and more. This work was put together using eco-dyed cotton materials, all in tones of gold and dark gold. Some retro fabric featuring daffodil yellow celebrates the 10-year anniversary theme. All materials used to construct this garment were selected out of the giveaway boxes, garage sales and op shops, which have contributed to Auki's large stash of discarded clothing and fabrics. Last up, Opposites Attract, worn by Lauren. The main steel grey garment is made of a cupro fabric, which is considered a vegan silk. I don't think it'll tell you though. The colour is like tin or aluminium, which with the added daffodil yellow cottons and silks creates an exciting colour combo. It is a versatile garment, being wearable layered and on its own. The grey dress was found in a garage sale. The yellow trimmings were all collected and gifted. Auki rag bags are bursting with beautiful scraps and bits of cloth, which she uses all the time to beautify her work. Auki Bunstra is a textile artist from Ulverstone. Auki enjoys transforming discarded clothing into trendy wearables. I reckon I'd enjoy wearing them. I bet there's a lot of people here too who agree with me. Fabulous original streetwear by Auki Bunstra. Gardenia and Robert Palmer. I'm sorry, that's Gardenia Palmer and Robert Icahn present Renaissance. That's Renaissance in Aussie. Renaissance. We make from ideas. We build from concepts. We interpret the moment and visualize the outcome. We tell a story. Gardenia and Robert have created a piece that invites your visual engagement with the means and materials that have been used to arrive at the artwork. All the materials are recycled, repurposed, or remade. This points to the limitless possibilities for art practice. Gardenia Palmer and Robert Eichen are both visual artists. Their art practice covers a wide use of techniques and materials. They've been collaborators on many projects during residencies and exhibitions over the years throughout Tasmania, in the Netherlands and Paris. Thank you, Gardenia and Robert. Tying to be there comes from Melissa Colgrave and is modelled by Lola. Melissa's stunning piece is a functioning cup or evening piece made mostly from vintage, but absolutely all repurposed ties and old vintage cottons found and then created into a piece called Tying to Be There. Sustainability is reflected in Melissa's piece by the use of vintage men's ties turned into a modern dress that could be worn to events. Melissa's piece is featured in the illuminated section. I'd bet on that. The frocks are always better than the horsies anyway. Melissa grew up on a Lilydale beef farm with a very close family. She's a mother of one and now works in community service. Whenever possible, she packs her camping gear and heads into the hills gemstoning or exploring remote parts of Tasmania. When borders open up, Melissa is looking forward to Camp the Great Ocean Road with her beloved bulldog Molly. She loves creating, photography, exploring and the country life. Don't we all? Wouldn't be here otherwise, would you? Tassie, wilderness. Next up, Jude Walsh. The fabulous Jude Walsh presents Rare Bird. Now, if you're new to Remade, maybe you're also new to Jude. But Jude is one of our most treasured people at the Interweave studio. This costume is an adaptive reuse of fabrics, materials and objects, keeping costs to zero. Yes, read it and weep, zero. Jude has made use of fabric offcuts from previously made garments which have been scrounged from friends and her own collection of objects, such as chocolate packaging and junk jewellery found lying in the streets. An artist and jewellery making in her own right, Jude has been a mentor at Interweave Arts for several years. Thank you, Jude. Jude's work features all through this Interweave event. She's one of our most dedicated mentors and assists so many of the wonderful people that come through Interweave. She's an absolute treasure and incredibly modest. I can't believe all she writes about herself is an artist and jewellery maker in her own right, a mentor at Interweave. Come on. Give her a huge hand. We love you, Jude. Up next, somebody who's a very good friend of Jude, Rebecca Rydell, featuring Feeding the Duck in the Garden. I can relate to that. Rebecca lives with her parents on an acreage out of Launceston, where she has many chores to complete, one of which is feeding some of the animals, including the ducks. The dress and hat in this costume have been sourced from her mum's wardrobe. The flowers and duck have been made from office waste and recycled cardboard. Becky is a regular on Mondays and is known as Interweave's eager elder. Becky is dedicated to her creative practice, but did accept some assistance from Jude Walsh and Kath Ellis with this gorgeous outfit. Thanks, Becky. You're a star. Up next, something very special. Introducing Stompin', all expenses paid. All Expenses Paid explores habits, opinions and values related to consumerism and fashion in contemporary society. This is an excerpt created by the dancers and choreographers Jack Sising and Jenny Large. Costuming has been styled by Mary Shannon and Caitlin Comerford with the help of Michelle Boyd and Stompers. Deeply embedded in our society is the practice of consumerism. Mass production and unethical trading flood our retail sensibilities. Mimicry, idolisation and imitation dismiss creative expression and individuality. Stompin's young dancers are wondering, how much is too much?
Consume. Waste, excess, surplus, fresh, latest, vogue, fad, fashion, trend, style, look, craze, use, expand, more, spend, make, create, brand, product, class, variety, instruct, devour, fulfill, satisfy, achieve, attain, quench, validate, imitate, control. consume, waste, excess, surplus, fresh, latest, vogue, fad, fashion, trend, style, phrase, use, expand, more, spend, make, create, brand, product, class, variety, construct, devour, fulfill, satisfy, achieve, attain, quench, validate, imitate, control, power, code, love, praise, please, fulfill, consume,
consume, excess, fresh, vogue, fashion, style, grace, expand, spend, make, create, brand, product, class, variety, devour, fulfill, satisfy, achieve,
Stompin' is a youth dance organisation that has been successfully creating a non-competitive, creative environment for young people to grow as artists, individuals and citizens through their connection with contemporary dance for over 28 years. Stompin' works with the young people of Tasmania to create and produce exhilarating dance and arts experiences. I don't think they're talking themselves up there. Do you? No, let's give them another huge hand. That was just fabulous, wasn't it? Another special piece for you now. Rita Summers presents Torn. The word torn has many connotations. Torn fabric, torn from family, torn apart emotionally, torn apart character, torn between choices. This collection represents all of the above, especially in relation to the convict women who came to Tasmania. Yet they were able to establish families, businesses, and so much more, leaving a lasting legacy. Rita particularly wanted to acknowledge and honour Sophia Gunyon, née Robinson, and Amelia Harris, née Lang. With the help of this 100-plus-year-old mannequin found on the St Mary's tip, Rita will demonstrate the various items she has made in response to her theme. All the fabrics for this collection were naturally dyed using locally foraged plants, and all are made from recycled fabric or clothing, mostly vintage. They were entirely hand-stitched over a period of almost 2 years in between other projects. You go, Rita. Rita is a qualified teacher with a Bachelor of Education, art major, distinction. Well, go figure. I wouldn't have given her a distinction, would you? And a diploma of art, craft, design, textiles. She opened her gallery studio in St Mary's in 2003 and is passionate about recycling and zero waste. This informs all her designs and inspiration. Thank you, Rita. That was absolutely superb. Before I introduce our next artists, could the gardeners meet outside, please? You know who you are. Oh, I just had a school teacher moment, you know. It's just about the way you say it. Oh, up next, John Alford and John O'Pedley present Whirling Waterman. Water, movement, men, water, movement, men, whirling, whirling, whirling. John and Jono, creating social space with the fluidity of movement. John and Jono upcycle their watermen of Remade 2017 to make a social space to mesmerize and inspire in a time of fear, fire and phobias. Water is the great cleanser. The essence of John and Jono's costume concept was first revealed at Remade 2017 with the recycled remnants of Jono's water delivery business providing the components of their costume design. The symbolism of water, replenished and recycled through the planet's great natural recycling systems, is reflected in the sustainable source of Jono's enterprise, an inexhaustible spring bubbling up from the roots of one of the 3 mountains that grace our wonderful city. Watermen characters first appeared in Remade 2017. John Alford and John O'Pedley have worked on many creative projects. John has also supported his wife Dee Alford, the gorgeous Dee Alford, oh yes, a Remade veteran, to provide the creative inspiration for Remade through their earlier work at the Tasmanian Circus Festival. Big hand for John and Jono. Gorgeous stuff. James Newton presents Marae, modelled by the lovely Rianne. The Amazon basin, a tangle of rivers, lakes, and labyrinth of winding jungle trails, home to 20% of the water on the planet. In fact, the Peruvian Amazon, which represents more than 60% of its territory, is occupied by wetlands. In the Amazon, swamps sustain communities of animals that benefit from the ecosystem's rich nutrients, water, and shelter. These wetlands perform many essential ecosystem services. It's not just animals that benefit from the mineral-rich soil, however. People living in the Amazon region also take advantage of the ecosystem's resources. So this piece, Marae, is a tribute to the functional importance of swamps. And given France has been the lone colonialist country expressing most concern about the degradation in the Amazon, James used the French word for swamp as the title for this piece. This full stirrup unitard with high neck, long sleeves and open back with a unique earthy print like etched rock and stone had seen better days prior to it falling into James's talented hands, with laddering across the front, left leg and right arm, which James concealed by hand sculpting fabric paint into seaweed-like designs. The accompanying fascinator was crafted to match from repurposed hair accessories. James is one of our most fabulous remade artists. He's been blowing our mind with sequined creations that we just can't work out how he does. And we are very happy to feature him here at our Remade COVID 10th year anniversary. Chris Flood presents But What Does It Mean? Chris's work is modelled by Andrew. Cast out. What does it mean? These found fabrics are a reflection of life. We see what we wish, or sometimes what we are told. Maybe the meaning or emotion we perceive is not our own. What does it mean? What do you own? Chris's work in this parade is formed of fabrics and thoughts that have all been used before in different ways. It speaks of reuse in relation to both the material and psychological fabric of time and place. Chris is a Launceston artist whose work covers many genres. Ready, Miss Music? Introducing Lyndall Van Zetten with her piece, Music. Lyndall has played the piano since a young age. She has made origami music notes from piano music to make her glorious music-themed dress. it is important to reuse what we have. Instead of throwing out some music that could no longer be used, Lyndall has recycled some music for her wearable art. Lyndall, would you mind if I referred to you as being sound in your environmental practice? Lyndall is a local musician and teacher and is married to the mayor of Launceston, Albert Van Zetten. Albert's piece discusses the importance of sustaining the environment. He has used post-industrial waste and other recycled items to create his wonderful 10-year, very, very official-looking anniversary creation for Remade. Items used have prevented things from being put into landfill. I mean, it's simple, isn't it? What more can we say? Thank you so much. Lyndall and Albert, how cool is that when the mayor brings his wife and they both wear costumes to your community event? Now that's connection. We've got some very fine caliber polys in the grassroots level. And I'll just put the dot at the end of the sentence there, shall I? Yes. Before I say something contentious, which would be wrong. Julia Spencer is Dryad Hypatia. The keeper of trees and forest life, Hypatia is home to a possum living in a hollow branch base and a tawny frogmouth keeping watch from a safe perch. What a dry sense of humour you have, Julia. Julia created the ground from a vintage silk dress dyed with plants. The bodice is adorned with silk, cotton, and a wool of sleeve remnant. The tawny frogmouth is attached to a hat and is also created from scrap and remnant garments. Julia works predominantly in natural dyes and fibres to reduce negative environmental impacts from her work and life practice. Using natural fibres with an emphasis on recycled sourcing is Julia's work ethic and a big part of her manifesto in life. Julia is the owner of Natured Cloth and has been in business for a few years upcycling garments. Julia has a diploma of visual art and will complete a certificate 4 in fashion design this year. What? You're still studying? Stop it. Julia teaches workshops on natural dyes and is creating some exciting new lines soon. Well, I can't wait. Thank you, Julia. Lawrence Harriman presents Camouflage. Lawrence made this outfit that has one dress that she can wear everywhere. and a hat that she could use in the Northern Territory as a fly screen. Lawrence likes to show the overlocked edges as a feature because they are normally hidden. Lawrence used only offcuts of the linen she buys to make dresses that she sells at the market. The tiny dangling fragments on the front of the hat come from the covered buttons shape. Has anyone made covered buttons? Fiddly business. What a fabulous use of all those little bits of fabric. I'm impressed, Lawrence. The hat comes from the second-hand shop. Lawrence specialised in textile at TAFE and loves creating. Thanks, Lawrence. Inspiring. And now for our roaming trees. Presented by the roaming family, Mizzy Oswald, Linda Abraham, Rosie Oswald, and Thomas Oswald. Roaming trees is a roaming family. Roaming with and within their costumes. They don't settle down. They don't let themselves. Who wants to settle down? They just keep roaming. They adjust and remake their costumes all the time, using what is left, adding what is found. Anything can be removed or attached. Roaming Trees is Linda and Thomas and their Rosie and Missy. Their roots are in Europe, in Hungary. 7 years ago, they roamed to Tasmania, and they are still roaming. They see life as art, and art is their life. I reckon that deserves a hand all on its own. Roaming Trees do stilt walking and storytelling. And off they roam. Never-ending story, never-ending roaming. Thank you for roaming to Tassie. Thanks for telling us stories in the park. Be afraid. Be very afraid. The real wolf is coming. Jordan Harris presents The Real Wolf. The wolf figures in Jordan's family history and has always fascinated him. Jordan has watched many television programs and movies about the wolf. Jordan's suit is made from sheep's wool, taken from his good friend Carol Ann's farm. Jordan has collaborated with Carol Ann, who is a textile artist. Jordan is an artist in his own right, participating in the art program at Interweave Arts, where he often draws his favourite subject, the wolf. A howling success, Jordan. Goodness me, if I keep up with the dead jokes, I'm going to have to do gender reassignment, aren't I? At least I've got the frocks. Oh no, that's the wrong gender. Oh, I'm so confused. Who cares about gender? Next, save me from myself. I'm being me on stage. We need to stop it. Stop it! Be a frog, be a frog, ribbit. Oh, you know what? I reckon it's time for me to head to the garden. The Garden of COVID Delights, no less. Presented by Caitlin Street. This piece wants us to look through the fear and threats to see the beauty, awe, and wonder that are always present. Upcycle, recycle, biocycle, life cycle. Caitlin Street, Kim Schneiders and Carmen Sita Palermo have teamed together to play with projecting digital images onto sustainable, wearable, moving screens, involving Danny Gibson's Stage Right Youth Theatre and live music by Bruce Innocent and Alison Cornish and Peter Waddell. Props thanks to Amanda Pera, Kath Ellis and Lilydale School. The Garden of COVID Delights. Oh Lord, we've also got Spike Mace. Spike, I didn't realise you were there in the dark. Oh, give them a great, big, awesome hand. Oh, I was transported and just a little bit hungry. It's a frog joke. Okay. Yeah. How cool are our musicians? I just want to draw attention to them. They have put the most stellar amount of work into supporting us here. Musicians Bruce Innocent on drums and percussion, Alison Cornish on keys, Peter Waddle on bass, and Spike Mason on sax and bass. And Peter Waddle, you on guitar as well as bass? Oh, you're just all too clever. Clever clogs. But listen, without the cooperation and generosity of our live musos, copyright law concerning broadcasting recorded music would have prevented us from live streaming this event. So we could only live stream because of these incredibly generous cooperative people. They have gone above and beyond. Now, you might have noticed a few people with cameras, so I'm going to take this opportunity to thank Ben and Cara, and also Lucas, I think, is also on camera. Yep. Oh wow, I've done well. I'm riffing now. I haven't even got this in my notes. Oh, love myself. Great. Anyway, they're the reason. These guys are the reason why these guys can be here. And a big thank you to all of our technical people who are helping us record this for posterity, because it would be just such a shame if it all disappeared after one night, like the first half of my career. Never mind. I'm that old that people didn't document stuff. You just had to be there. Anyway, moving right along. We'd like to encourage all of you to take as many images as you wish, but kindly request that you upload them onto the Remade Facebook page. And please, if you have an outfit on, do get your work documented for posterity in our special photo booth. You know where it is. Just get in that elevator after the gig and go up to the second floor and get yourself snapped. Okay. There's more, but wait, there's more. There's absolutely more. I know there's more. Wow, 'cause it took me such a long while to write this stuff out. Sunny, save me. Oh, it is you. Oh, Sunny, you are next on the list. Fantastic. Welcome back, Sunny, with the coat of loves. This coat has been remade 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. How's that for a work in progress? This year sees the coat entirely covered in felt. The completed work took at least 100 hours of needlepoint felting. There's a lot of love in that coat. Sunny has added many new features, including text, birds, magic numbers, and symbols. This coat tells a story of the many loves in Sunny's life. Sunny purchased this coat at a second-hand shop, and most of the wool used had previous owners. But Sunny loves Mother Earth. She loves the trees, the birds, the flowers, and the swamps. And that's why they're all on her coat, as a representation of her dedication to living a sustainable and peaceful life. Sunny is a Mother Earth lover. She gets great pleasure from walking in nature and watching her garden grow. Sunny enjoys spending time with her friends at Interweave, especially Patchy, whose fur has been used as the black night sky around Sunny's silver hair moon. Awesome work. Look at all those hours and hours and hours. What dedication. Okay, up next, Kate Fletcher and Paul Ruby with their piece, The Scarlet Letter, worn by Suze Hayward. Okay, this work is a collaboration between two great friends separated by COVID-19, created from their conversations, stories, and their individual textile meanderings dovetail together. Natural dyeing features here, and the ideas and materials used have come from a range of people. Inspiration has come from imaginative musings, conversations over fences, chance meetings, and encounters in a world where social distancing is the new normal. But somehow, the imposed separation has created closer, richer connections. Don't you agree? With time spent in reflection, revealing the richness of resources already available. This piece has been created from Kate and Paul's combined textile hoards. While two makers have spearheaded the creation, it's a coming together of a community of peoples, gifting ideas, materials, inspiration, and the scintilla of the holistic creative experience. Kate Fletcher's driving passion is sustainability and being on the circular economy bus. She loves telling stories through cloth, thrives on deeply layered, meandering explorations to create unexpected outcomes. Collaboration is her favourite vehicle, and plenty of people are woven into this piece, but most notably, her co-conspirator, Mr. Paul Ruby. Paul Ruby was born with his eyes and mouth open, savouring life's ripe fruit and bright sun. His fascination, nay, obsession with fabric has catapulted him to this collaboration with the divine Kate Fletcher, a true warrior of the cloth. Thank you, Suze, and thank you, Kate and Paul, for the Scarlet Letter. Up next, a new artist to Tassie. Welcome Lily Halton with two pieces. Firstly, Dreams Are Made of This, modelled by her friend Deborah Fisher. This outfit was designed and made by visual artist Lily Halton, commissioned by Deborah Fisher to paint and remake her 90s wedding dress. Lily is a minimalist. She believes in recycling clothing, especially wedding dresses. Lily says, let go of the dress. The memories are always with you in your heart. Let's make wedding dresses into wonderful new outfits that you can wear and give you joy once again. Or maybe you can make someone else's day by passing it on or donating it to charity. Save the planet by reusing and decluttering your home. Do this and you will make a difference in this world. Lily has a keen interest in community arts. She enjoys being a mentor and a team member at Interweave. And she is grateful to Deborah for trusting in her and being part of the creative process. Many thanks to Edwina for her assistance in... Oh, that's me. Thank you. Thank you, Lily. It's very sweet of you. You didn't need much help, though. Lily Halton is wearing Get Back to Where You Once Belonged. Lily's outfit was inspired by the 1.5 metre safe distancing rule. Her outfit is designed to keep the wearer safe from contracting COVID-19. Lily's shaman-inspired neckpiece and hand battens keep people at a distance. They'd keep me at a distance. The smell and the thought that they are made from dog hair would keep me well off. Pew. Sorry, Sonny, but dog hair. Lily reckons it'll keep line creepers, huggers and non-sanitised at a 1.5 metre distance. Yep. The net cloak was resourced from the tip shop and will keep any airborne nasties away. Lily is now a devoted St. Vinny's shopper. Yay! Remade has opened her world to sourcing good quality recycled clothing. And the message Lily would like to convey through her outfit is, think before you buy. Recycling is good for the environment, which in turn is good for your health and well-being. Lily is now a mentor at Interweave. Remade has provided her with the opportunity to meet new people, form collaborations, and learn new skills. Come and join us. Don't just come to our events. Sonia Hindram presents Popping Bubbles, modelled by the lovely Charlotte Amelia Hindram. Sonia made the outfit with items from the op shop and reclaimed plastic drinking bottles. The face mask is made from the SCOBY from kombucha tea. The idea was to make a collection of Corona-style bubbles from recycled drink bottles and cable ties and then create a garment from these. The other plan in the making of this garment was to produce zero waste. using all of the plastic bottle. The garments are recycled from the op shop and will be worn again outside of Remade. The plastic bubbles will eventually have fairy lights and hang in the garden as a chandelier. So both the clothing and the plastic will continue to be used. Sonia Hindram is a multimedia artist and designer who over the years has designed and constructed costumes for various dance and theatre companies and has developed site-specific large textile installations for festivals. And just, I think she's a bit obsessed with the SCOBY. Sonia, what will you make out of SCOBY next? I can't wait, but I have to say, I'm like, Charlie, the SCOBY face mask, it's all yours. It looks better on you anyway. Who wore it better? Charlie wore it better. Congratulations, Sonia and Charlie, for a truly impressive piece of using the whole thing. Up next, Monica Hastings presents Labels Don't Define Me. Now, this is a piece you need to see close up. And lovely Mon is going to get just close enough for you to see what she's done over here. She was cutting the irritating labels off her clothes when the idea formed to incorporate these into her remade costume to highlight how labels stigmatise and marginalise. Buying the dress from an op shop, Monica's piece also plays with attitudes around fashion and designer clothes and takes a broader perspective on social distancing. Apart from the reuse of materials, Monica's outfit promotes sustainability of concepts around acceptance and inclusion, which she strongly believes are worthwhile and can be achieved. With a lived experience of mental health issues, Monica works as a peer worker in mental health services and hopes to encourage an appreciation for uniqueness and diversity of us all. Give her a hand. But no touching. No touching. We're going to let Mon take her time wandering around the space so that you can appreciate this fabulous thing close up and personal. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's a swing tag. Oh, this is fantastic. These are the kind of labels that I want. Take one out of the basket, folks. My one reads, if you believe in yourself, you don't need to convince others to be appreciated. Hear, hear. All right, while Mon's getting around, spreading love, giving you the right kind of labels to inspire you, let's welcome our next artist to the stage. Insulation was created by Sean Dooley, modelled by Sean. Sean made this design to explore subtraction cut garments and alternate materials for fashion. Sean has repurposed and recycled industrial materials from local chip shops to explore alternatives to buying everything new. Using a subtraction cut design process also creates less waste than the traditional kind of pattern making. Thank you, Sean. Maria Elena Chagoya presents the Remade Katrina from Underworld. On the 1st of November, that's tomorrow, Mexico celebrates the Day of the Dead. Mexicans offer an altar to deceased relatives that includes food, drinks, flowers, and celebrations as part of the pre-Hispanic traditions. The printer and cartoonist Jose Guadalupe Posada envisioned the Aztec goddess of the underworld as a female skeleton known as La Catrina. Now the most recognizable Day of the Dead icon, Elena has no doubt created the remade Katrina. It's been created with reused cloth, corn, the husks from a kind of gooseberry that's a traditional part of the Mexican cuisine, and fruit nets. Elena is supported in making her costume by her son, Andre Roman. Elena Chagoya is Mexican. Since arriving in Tassie in 2008, she has embraced and loves to connect with the multicultural community. She practices image by design, making her a color design coach. In other words, she can teach you about your friendly colors. Before coming to Tasmania, Elena was an international makeup artist for 25 years. She is also the Spanish radio presenter at City Park Radio. So now you can put, well, not quite a face to the voice, but quite a fabulous bustle. And are they, Elena, are they, hang on, I've just got to go and have a look at this close up because I haven't seen it. Are they, is that those Mexican kind of bingo cardy things? Oh, it's the Loteria. Oh, look at that. And that would be a dead hammock. Oh, okay. And yes, I am her mentor. We'll have a picture together. But I didn't have to do much. It was all her. I just know where stuff is, which makes me practically supernatural in the Interwave studio. Now we have a lovely Queer As entry from the fabulously generous and much spoken about this evening, Carol Ann Morrison, featuring Colour My World. Oh, it's not just Jordan. Oh, look at this. So we've got Lawrence, Jordan, Sophie, Siobhan, Chloe, Carol Ann Morrison. Artisan Ram creates garments made from wool grown and sourced in Tassie, cotton remnants and curtain samples, flax, linen, upcycled silk and repurposed. Oh, wow! The use of English Leicester and Finnish landrace fleece come from Carol Ann's own sheep. Now, if you bought a raffle ticket, you might be in the running to win one of these amazing designs. And also remember what I said before, if you do want to buy one, 50% of the cost goes to Remade. Carol Ann subscribed to zero waste with subtraction cutting and using every part of the fibre. With subtraction, the smallest piece of fabric is used to embellish and enhance the finished garment. This year, Carol Ann has had 2 exhibitions and 1 field day and a few workshops on her small farm, all very successful and great. She's planning more for the future, so I must make sure that I get myself on that list. I want to see if Carol Ann can pull the wool over my eyes. Yep, gender reassignment, here I come. Ralph Hartel and Daryl Rogers have done some amazing stuff for us tonight. You've been looking at one of Ralph's gorgeous creations all night up here on the stage. This beautiful tree. I spoke about it a little earlier. But right now, you're in for another treat. This piece, Try Tree True, features Kat, Sunny, and Jordan. The installation, which spans the space, is constructed primarily from recycled wooden Venetian blinds, referencing globalization and the unknown origins of the various woods. The original role of the blinds in mediating between private and public spaces is also referenced, and the inherent strength of triangulation as a building format. And in case you didn't pick it up, yes, those triangles in the Garden of Covert Delights were also made from these Venetian blinds. Projection elements have been developed in collaboration with Daryl Rogers while filming a poetic documentary of the project to be released in mid-November. Performers Kat, Sunny and Jordan respond to the journey from tree through production, distribution and suburban use and disuse, back to this lovely symbolic tree installation. Hartel's work explores the nature of our shared connections to place, celebrating the hidden histories and past lives of materials and objects through transformative reimagination and representation via engaged and interactive processes. Daryl Rogers is an artist who works with video, installation, augmented reality, and virtual imaging. Elements of this installation have previously appeared at Remade as performance artworks, most notable in 2019 as Re-Embody, a large-scale community-devised performance installation, also featured at Junction Festival. developed in collaboration with Carmen Sita Palermo, with over 100 community participants from diverse backgrounds and involving lead-in workshops and performances at key events, including Mona Foma Sessions 2019 at the Design Centre, Remade 2018 and 19, and Falls Festival, Marion Bay.
All life is sacred and all creation related. What we do affects the whole universe. So let us walk in balance with Mother Earth and all her people.
And that, beautiful people, means that we've reached the end of our show. But before you run away, Remade would like to thank the Albert Hall crew, especially Turkay and Vanessa. Thanks too to Simon, Cameron and Lucas for Sound Out for the sound, lights and camera action. Thanks again to our wonderful musicians. Thank you to Simon for pushing all those raffle tickets. You funky thing. And thanks to Lucy, our stage manager. It's Lucy's last year with us, I'm afraid. So we need to give her a really, really big hand. Come into the light, Lucy. Come on. Look at her. Look at this little shrinking violet in padded lame. So backstage.
I think we all need to give a massive round of applause to our wonderful MC, Edwina. And I would just like to quickly thank two people who are often behind the scenes, Kim Schneiders and Karen Reevy. And that comes from a very personal place in my heart as well. So thank you both.
Thank you, Lucy. Now, Vanessa. Vanessa's got some special info for us. Yes, you want the talking stick? No, you don't. You just want... Okay, all right, so you tell me and I'll tell them. Should we do it? And I'm sure it won't be like Chinese whispers. Because they're going to tell me where you can get a drink. Yeah, so it's important. But wait, just turn your eyes this way. See this big face? Simon will take you on a little journey outside, a journey into the park. Let's go for a walk in the park, people, because we found out that there's a special rule that allows us to come back in here and dance, but we have to clear all the alcohol and food away, and you have to go somewhere else to get the drink. So, Victoria's Cafe will be serving drinks tonight, and that's a completely separate venue, so it's legal. So, you know the COVID rules. No alcohol in the dance area. So you can't bring your alcohol in. You've got to go out, chug a lug, and run back in before your favourite dance track ends, okay? That's it, isn't it? Yeah. Some people can chug a lug very elegantly. I'll be giving a demonstration later. So, shall we do it? Let's do it. Okay, everyone, let's split this crazy scene. Get out. Let's follow Simon with his great, big, beautiful, illuminated head. Let's get on out into the park and come back and enjoy shaking our boogies with our fantastic musicians in here. Thank you all so much for coming. You have been a wonderful audience, and thank you for dressing up, because that's what we wanted. Tonight was the first time that we actually felt like we were part of you, instead of it being audience and performers. So thank you. And let's do more of this where we break down those barriers. Cheers. See you on the dance floor.